Listen! Yesterday, in episode 14, we put together the motor mount, if you will, gearbox mount, and fitted and installed that Servonaut motor in there. Now, this is all glued and set and everything else. So I'm going to see how far we can get on with this, because if you remember, I say this requires some solder, and I can only build so far until I need to solder these up. So I haven't found any wires yet. I'm sure I've got some in a box somewhere, but I have ordered some off eBay this morning, so I'm not sure when they're going to be here, but I've just ordered the positive negative terminal, so that then will allow me to continue building, because it starts becoming encased within the chassis underneath the cab floor and things like that. Now I don't know, because there's quite a lot of gluing. I'm unsure on whether it is going to be glued in there, if you will, or sealed in permanently. I doubt it. I presume it would be made for easy access, so if you wanted to upgrade or swap it out and things like that. I should really go through the manual actually and have a good study of it and see what needs gluing and what doesn't, just so I know if I can proceed. So for now, I'm going to continue on to step 24, because as you can see around and things, it bolts in within the chassis, so I can still get to them with solder at the minute, so we can go ahead and do this. Now it's not much, and then part 25, which is down here, is just putting on some little brackets and stuff like that, so we'll get those fitted as well. So 24, 25, servo, damn, I need to order a servo. Yeah, I've got a servo, right, sweet. So yeah, I'll probably do that one in another video. So we'll crack on with 24 and 25. I've got my little bits and bobs out already. This should be fun now, because it's actually putting the chassis together. Like so. Bum, 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 bum. Bringing it to life. So for the first step, we need the right hand chassis rail, and we also need this, the rear cross member, and these little bits of hardware there, and them two are going to be glued into place. So looking at this now then, and that's the rear cross member in place. I've still to pop another screw in that groove there within the end of the chassis. That nut and bolt, there's a knack to putting it in, if you will. If you have this angled out and then slide the nut in, it will turn its way back into the groove. Otherwise it's going to be real fiddly trying to get that through there. So now another nut and bolt just to go through there to brace that in, and then we're going to glue the other cross members in down the chassis. And the manual, when you're constructing, because it will try and catch you out, you will get ahead of yourselves in some points, just like you do. You just start getting into it, and then you start putting things together, and you can start losing track of the manual. I just did it there on that screw, because I put that in first, and then it were, hang on a minute, these arrows and stuff like that. So just really stay on the ball, because like I say, it will try and catch you out from time to time, and if you feel like it's getting a little bit too much, just chill out, or make a coffee or something, and come back to it. I was getting stressed in not the last one, but the one before, episode 13. Number 13, an unlucky one. Maybe that was why. Maybe it was just cursed. But yeah, I was getting real stressed with some points in that. Really, really stressed. And you can just lose your temper a bit, can't you? You don't want to do that to your truck, really. So keep on the ball, just be patient. If you're feeling a little like it's getting a bit on top, then just walk away from it for a little while. That, guys, off those 2 nuts and bolts, now I've put the second one in. It's solid. Really, really solid. And there you can see like the tiny nut just sticking out just to match the other imitation nuts. So it might be nice really to go over some of these, maybe paint some silver and stuff. It'd be time consuming, but it'd be nice to pick out the details on such a well detailed truck. So here you can see now it's glue time. My daughter would love this gluing. Maybe not really with like a super glue, but she would love it anyway. So we're just going to glue. Make sure you got these right. They're not exactly the same cross members. One's got the 2 pips on, as you can see there, so that one will go there. In these bits that we've already bolted in, they're like grooved out. So these will then just glue into there. Now it says to put glue around the outside, but I'm going to put it on the inside, then I don't get any glue runs down there. Unless I make a little mark along there, then I know where my glue line roughly is. And I'll just give this a quick scuff with this thingy-madoofer, just to help that glue settle a little bit more. Same again. Scuff that up a bit. I'm just going to hold them here for a few minutes just with a little bit of pressure, not too much pressure, just while the glue sets, and then we'll let that dry off before we put the other side to it and put the motor in. I don't want to disrupt anything. Actually making progress now. I've been a little lost with the hobby recently and just, I don't know, I just haven't been motivated and not enjoying it like I used to. Sometimes feels like a chore, and yeah, it don't feel like that no more. I'm waking up and looking forward to just doing YouTube videos again for you guys. Now, can you remember the other day, or whenever you watched the video, might have been part 12, and I was going on about these screws that stick out. Well, I've just got the other chassis rail, and at the same point they also have the 2 longer screws which stick out. I'm curious to know what they're for, and I'm presuming we are going to find out rather soon. So remember which way your casing is. It's pretty simple to remember. That's your top. It's the only one literally with like a riveted plate. So if you just think rivets to the top, which then technically would be like this way. So there and there, there's 2 slots. Same at the other side. Within the chassis there's 2 holes, and this is where actually the whole thing, if you look, there's a lip on there as well. So I think the whole thing is just going to slot in that little rectangular groove there with the 2 holes drilled out. Yep. Ah, right. The screws don't do nothing, but they do. Let me try and flip this around so I can show you guys now. So it looks like the motor is only going to be bolted in with 2 bolts at either side, there and there. Now if you look, that sticks out compared to the back. So if you were just to bolt that, it's going to be like floppy, if you will. So once you pop your motor into the chassis, now I don't know if you can see down there, but those 2 screws there, they actually support the gearbox casing. So now I see why they did that with that. See, things make sense throughout the build. It just confused me at first to see it because everything else is all like really nice and neat looking, and then you have these 2 screws just stuck out longer. But no, I get it now. So I pretty much showed you how the motor goes in, so I'm going to quickly install this motor, and the other chassis rail is exactly the same as I've done here. Couple of screws at the back, bit of glue here, and the 2 screws for the motor housing. Then that is part 24 complete. I'm glad I'm not showing you guys like literally the whole screwing up the nuts and everything, trying to get these little fiddling nuts in here, or you'd be like, what the is this guy on? And then you just unsubscribe me. Trying to get the 2 little bolts into there. So I'm just going to try with these. I do have some smaller ones in my toolbox which are a bit thinner, so I'll try those ones in a minute. But where there is a will, there is a way. But that's not working out. They try and put the little nuts in there using a tool, and then the magnet seems to work its way through the end of the pliers, needle nose pliers, and zaps the magnet and just sucks it to the motor. So yeah, I'm really not winning. So just be patient, guys, be patient. I'm a numpty. This is why you need to take a break from it sometimes, because you start just not thinking logically, if you will, and common sense. So what I'm going to do is the common sense way. Now I've had a break from it, and I'm going to pop the screws in first. The little nut heads, I'll just have them on there like so. There's my other screw and washer. Leave that for a moment. Same again. You know what I'm doing now, don't you? Because the bloody slots, Scotty, you can just slide it into place. What an absolute numpty I am. Ta-da! So I've got that all screwed up in there, easy peasy in the end. As you can see, it's just floating on the chassis now, braced in with them couple of long screws that we're on about. Does add a lot of weight, really does add a lot of weight. I'm presuming the back wheels are going to be sat here. They are the drive wheels. Now I'm not sure where the battery is going to go yet on this or anything, so I'm presuming they would have designed it in mind just to put more weight up that back end, just to have that little more traction. Right, I'm going to go ahead now and just, as I did, complete the other chassis rail. I might be better trying to go for that bit first, and it can like slot on and then put the rest of it into place. Well then guys, thanks for watching. and this is the Verkerk Volvo chassis as it is now, as it currently stands. I've just noticed as well, the motor housing kind of sits on an angle, so the prop shaft will be more angled and there'll be less angle at the cups, if you will. There's like less stress. I'm assuming these are going to like mount some tanks or something. The same here, maybe a little tank. So in the next one we'll come back, and that'll be parts 26, and we'll look at installing servo mount and stuff and a servo. So again guys, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like, feel free to leave a comment down below, and most of all, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, especially if you're not already subscribed, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of all future videos and things like that. Anything RC trucking, I'll try and get it here within the channel. So, thanks again, and I shall catch you in the next video, which will be part 15, 16, part 16. So yeah, ciao for now guys.